Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Numithrander, and today I'm afraid we're going back a bit, taking a few steps away from where we were going last time. Last time we ended at Ordina Liturgical Town, and that is relatively close to getting me all the way to the Erdtree. And I'm not quite kitted out for that just yet. Or, to be more precise, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do before I get all the way there. Well, if you're going to give me time, I'm just going to kill you. And among the many things left to do is do a bit of a weapon gather up. Ow. So, a couple legendary armaments that I've been missing and wanting can be acquired in areas I've already been to, like here at Redmane Castle. Got my hands on the Ruins Greatsword. Now, that's our first legendary armament today. The next one is going to be taking us all the way to Lindell. But we're not going into the capital city itself. No, at the moment, we're actually going around the outer perimeter. Some of you know exactly where I'm going, and those of you who don't are in for a nice little treat. Now, first we have to get the fairways out and bypass the garrison here once again. Fortunately, I'm not following the direct path down this time. Instead, I'll be going down to this road and going here. Though it looks like I still have a couple of little ankle biters to deal with. But that's nothing compared with being shot at by catapults and ballistas. Alright. And we have lightning striking over here. Now that I'm pondering the lightning, I wonder, is lightning striking because of the fulgur blooms? Or is it instead that the fulgur blooms are cropping up there because of the lightning strikes? Well, now that I've thought about it, why don't I actually just read up on it? Let's see. Crafting. Fulgur bloom. Yellow flower that grows in lightning-struck lands. Okay then. Was hoping for a little more detail, but oh well. Oh, it looks like a statue of Marika holding up a body. Probably an image of Godwin. And here, A Black Knife assassin. Awfully close to Lindell, aren't you? I think I overdid it a little there. And there you have it, a Black Knife. One of the great weapons used to slay Godwyn the Golden. It's kind of a shame, really, that this weapon, cool as it is, deals holy damage. Dagger once belonging to one of the assassins who murdered Godwyn the Golden on the night of the Black Knives. A ritual performed on the oddly misshapen blade imbued it with the power of the stolen rune of death. And I can't help but notice how similar it is to the Blade of Calling. A similar curved shape to it. Only that the Black Blade, rather, was rather defiled by whatever ritual gave it its power. Still, I did at one point have a character who used both the Blade of Calling and the Black Knife, and dual-wielded them. The Black Knife in right, the Blade of Calling in left. It was cool even if it wasn't especially effective. Oh well. Just make doubly sure we have the summoning pool active. Hidden path, you say? Well, gotta say this one wasn't all that well hidden. Oh, more little gremlins. I remember this. The enemies are invincible unless you strike them within the light. Yep. You might have seen a black mist rise off him. Well, that was him becoming mortal again. Okay, so that was a bit of a loop around. So, onwards. There are many, many, many dungeons that I haven't got to yet. Here in Altus, in Limgrave, in the Urnia. Bloody everywhere, really. Now, we have some shadows, and I can't kill them at the moment, because there is no light with which to kill them. Grave Beloved 4. Yep. Now we need to get to light. Here we go, come on. Lucky for me, that they remain corporeal for a little bit after entering the light. Otherwise, them leaving like that might have been a problem. A trap, you say? Let's have a gander. Mendel soldier ashes. Now, it would be interesting if you could actually summon multiple spirit ashes at once, assuming you had the FP for it. Just imagine Black Knife Tish paired up with the Dung Eater. A very fast and agile and nippy character running all over the place, with the Dung Eater being the stand there and take the beating sort. But then again, that might be going a bit far. After all, the spirit ashes already make life a lot easier. So having multiple of them helping you out like that, yeah, I can see how that would very easily break the game. I can certainly see complaints against it. There's water here. Okay. Luckily it's not poison. Ah. Come on. Ah. I'll climb the lift when it gets back. Oh, and I whiffed. Come on. Okay, made it onto the ledge. Ow. I would have called it a bit of a waste using that ability there, but there is actually no limit to how many times I can send out the Ice Blast. Until the buff wears out anyway. Stone Sword Key. Luckily, I do have plenty of those yet. Dragon Crest Shield Talisman. Ah, that's the lesser version of the Dragon Crest Shield. That's going to be very, very useful when I get to Melania. Because if I remember correctly... where is it? Ah, there it is, yep. Physical damage negation. And the vast majority of Melania's attacks are physical damage. So, making use of physical negation can be quite helpful. Okay. I forget whether or not this dungeon has its own boss at the end. Or whether or not the Black Knife at the top... well, out at the front, rather... was the only item of interest. Let's juice up again. Now then. I wonder what these particular skeleton men are doing here. Oh, horseman. Spreading a mist. Too far. That didn't go very well for you now, did it? Okay, so the nearest guillotine is much too far away if I wanted to use it to reach that platform. We have a few more over this way. But is there actually anything? Ah, there's the sealed door. So there is, in fact, a boss somewhere around here. Unfortunately, I haven't found the lever to open its door yet. A lot of dead people in this room. And there's why. Okay. I really do not like those bastards. They are... Ugh. Just that sound. Uncomfortable. To put it mildly. Well. Ah, here we are. Yep, none of those guillotines would get us closer enough to this to jump on. Ah. A duelist. Looks like he's in the shadow. Yeah, seek the light. Yep, I was literally able to run right through him. Yep. He can hit me while he's incorporeal. But I can't hit him. Ow. Let's see now. We'll move him out this way so I can run back. Now, I'll have to bring him underneath a light source. Specifically, one of the lanterns that removes the shadow effect. Oh, now I'm gonna have to go and find one. With him chasing me. But I believe there's one right over here. Come on. No. No. You are just a few feet away. Come on. Come on. That does it. And now you die. I see. So there wasn't a switch this time. Instead, the answer was an enemy within the dungeon itself. An enemy that was somewhat puzzling to kill. Come on. Alright. Now we're past all the blades. Stake of Marika to get back here in a hurry if need be. Damn it all. Let's double check to see if there's anything hidden in the alcoves. Nope. Well, let's go in. Ancient hero of Zamor. Oh my. I was not expecting you to be that weak to magic damage. Either to magic damage or to frost. Could have sworn that you guys came from the mountaintops of the giants. So I would have thought you'd be a bit more resilient to the cold. Oh well. I'm not going to complain about an easy win. Now, going back to what I was saying earlier, we were close to reaching the Erdtree, but that's going to be an entire adventure on its own. And that will be... it won't quite be the culmination of our journey, but it will be closer to the end. And I'm going back and doing side quests and other little story beats first. Specifically, because I realize that burning the Erdtree is going to bring everything to an end. There's a fair few things you can do before then, but if you go at it afterwards, you're just begging for trouble. Yes, I would rather travel during the day. I say that because... I was going to say, rather, that I wanted to travel in daylight, so that I would have an easier time seeing where I'm going. And then I look out and it's all misty and gloomy, even during the day. Ay. Yeah, that threw me for a second there. And amongst many other matters, we may also converse with Gold Mask. Or at least we can try. Doesn't work out all that well, as we'll find. Yeah, I can't actually talk to him. Because he doesn't speak in the common tongue. Rather, he converses in the same language, so to speak, as the two fingers. So the finger reader crones can speak to him, translate him for the lay person. Everybody else, though, is pretty much boned. Here we have another site of grace. And I wonder... Ah, Brother Corin is in fact still on the road. So I might as well go and tell him that his idol, the Gold Mask, may be located. It will likely make his day for him. As ever, people suffer a lot in the lands between. Yet another opportunity to get the noble's slender sword squandered. Honestly, with my current with New Mithrander, with this character, I probably won't actually be using that sword ever. Because it is a primarily dex-based weapon, and New Mithrander is strength and magic. Sorcery, specifically. But, still, for a collector's item, it would still be nice to have.
Ah, you appear to be doing well. Very good. Well then, would you like to learn an incantation?
Actually, I've found Gold Mask.
Do you sport with me? From your description, it can be no other than the Gold Mask himself. Of course, I knew he would be close by. Bless the Golden Order and its benevolent rays. And to you too, my sincerest thanks. May the Golden Order shine through you.
After what happened to Blide, the Order and the Two Fingers can all burn. I side with Ronnie. She is one of the few who might be considered good. That said, well, her instigating the Night of the Black Knives playing a role in it, I would question how good she could be after taking part in that. But there are implications that Marika herself may have been responsible for the Night of the Black Knives. In particular, this is an interesting one. Hood used by the Black Knife assassins. The assassins that carried out the deeds of the Night of the Black Knives were all women, and rumored to be new men who had close ties with Marika herself. Now, there's at least two ways to take that. One would be that these women of the new men origin betrayed Marika, taking advantage of her trust to get close enough to murder Godwin. Or You could go the angle that Marika herself plotted the death of her son. But there's no way of knowing. Or at least, I haven't found enough information to be certain one way or the other.
Ah, we meet yet again. Thanks to you, I have become acquainted with the noble Gold Mask himself, and taken my place by his side, as you can see. Have no fear. I will still teach you incantations as before, though we must do so quietly, such that we not disturb the Great Master's cogitation.
I see. And he now has a few additional incantations for us.
The Master is always deep in contemplation, while I frantically attempt to record his wisdom, the movement of his finger. And though I am yet to comprehend even the daintiest morsel of his wisdom, I know that this is my life's calling. The Golden Order has bestowed me, talentless as I am, the great duty of documentarian. May the Golden Order shine through you.
I know not whether Gold Mask is good or evil. His affiliation with the Golden Order is ill. However, the man himself might not be wicked. Because, of course, there is a distinction to be made between a man and his faith. A man may serve an evil master without himself being evil. A little nugget of knowledge and wisdom for you there that seems ever shrinking in the number of people who actually know it. Just because someone allies themselves tangentially with something you might consider ill doesn't make them innately evil. After all, they might be persuaded to turn away from evil. And we get some more goodies. And the soldiers of Lanedale simply cannot stop me anymore. They once posed a significant threat, but no longer. Something here worthy of summoning to deal with. Ah. Magnus the Beast Claw. I'd almost forgotten about this one. This is actually a very nice little addition. Oh, you really do live up to your Beast Claw moniker, don't you? I'm afraid you're just a little too slow. Now, the reason why this is nice is because this actually counts as an invasion. And you can use it to advance Vare's questline. You're actually able to come here, claim a second Great Stars, and a somber 6 for your trouble. and it will also count to advance Vare's story, so you can access Mogwin Palace. But, as you might have noticed, it requires defeating a relatively dangerous enemy and reaching all the way into the Altus Plateau. So, while this is an entirely acceptable means to enter Mogwin Palace, and you would still actually be getting there earlier than you otherwise would, because the only other way to get there is to get all the way to the consecrated snowfield. So, okay. I hate dogs in this game, I really do. Little Nipper bit me twice. And he's not as bad as some of the dogs around here. Particularly the later in you get, the worse they get. But it's still exceedingly annoying. Let's be safe and top up on everything. Ah, it's another one of the Sanguine Nobles. Yeah. You're nothing to me now. Soon, very soon, I will contend with your master. Ah, the bloody Hellas. I've always liked the design of this sword. Alas, it's simply... It doesn't fit with my build. I don't have enough arcane to make use of it properly. And it is not as powerful as the Dark Moon's greatsword. At least, not for me it isn't. If you were building arcane and dexterity, then the Hellas would have its use. But as it stands, it's not going to come anywhere close to the damage of the Moonlight Sword. Now, our further goal for today is to reach Mount Gelmir. I wish to see the outside of Rykard's domain. I almost forgot about the rolling goats. How very odd they are when you actually stop to look at them. Oh well. We're on our way. Yep, to Mount Gelmir, to Rykard's domain. I'll rest just to play it safe. No reason to go forward without full strength. And there are a number of rather nasty things waiting for us this way. Such as the abductor virgins here. As you can see, these things are still dangerous. And we have Lindell soldiers confronting them too. The battle against Rykard is still going. The shattering not yet ended in this area. Oh. You managed to evade. More like the tracking just didn't quite follow you well enough. Oh well. We have yet more of you. Ow, ow, ow. Ah. I was wondering why I wasn't being harassed. The answer was that you simply hadn't quite caught up with me. Oh, and another one. Too far. But not too far for you, apparently. Nope, not enough. I can't help but notice that I'm getting recharges on my flasks very frequently when fighting these things. I guess they are considerably dangerous, so I certainly appreciate getting a little pick-me-up. Dog again. Oh no. Yeah. When dealing with the dogs, I, frankly, don't spare much in the way of resources. Because they really are that obnoxious. Golden Vow. Hang on, there you are. Oh, you're really... I was not expecting her to dodge quite that often. Well, she's dealt with now. And I have her butcher knife. Stone sword key, and a bridge that we cannot pass from below. And entire mountains of burned corpses. Yeah, this is what we can expect from Rykard and his dominion. We've seen the inside of the manor. Still well tended. Yet there is a dark secret to it. Zorias is one sign of it. And that will be the next matter we attend to. Reaching into the secrets of Rykard. And to the slaying of Rykard as well. There's simply too much ill with him to leave him be. Might as well rest here as well. It's not as if there would be anything to gain by carrying on without our full strength. Admittedly, another reason I'm coming back and doing this stuff is because putting things off and going to the consecrated snowfield and other places further yet will eventually make a lot of the rewards around here outmoded. Somber 6 is still quite nice, though. And I do feel rather badly for putting down this chap's wolf. His trusted friend and companion. Alas, the man was dead, but his hound still defended him. I'm reminded of a particular episode of Futurama. Some of you might know what I'm referring to. Jurassic Park, the title was. And that episode was downright heartbreaking in its ending. Poor Seymour. One of those deep miseries that can never wholly be cured. But it's a little too depressing for me at the moment, so let us carry on. The soldiers of the Erdtree are still here fighting Rykard. And we've got lightning striking all over the place. Is that your doing? Whether it is or isn't, no longer matters. You are done with as it is. We had a number of towers like this one near Redmane Castle. Oh, why did I? What even happened there? Gilded foot soldier cap. Fire arrows. Nothing all that interesting yet. Hopefully this fella has something good. Pulley bow. The bows in this game kind of disappoint me. In particular, when I compare them with what we had in Dark Souls 2. In Dark Souls 2, bows were actually extremely useful, particularly in places like the Shrine of Amana. And I imagine a number of you just had war flashbacks when I mentioned that name. Well, I believe it's worth mentioning that a great bow is actually a phenomenal tool for making the Shrine of Amana much, much easier to deal with. After all, the reason the shrine is so annoying is because of the fact that you wind up dealing with magic, well, sorcerers spamming magic at you from a distance, whilst traveling through a bog that slows your movement. Well, if you just make use of the great bow, any great bow, you'll be able to snipe them right back and remove their threat before you even have to get close to them. And, significantly, in Dark Souls 2, you could literally carry 1,000 arrows on you. So you'll have no shortage of arrows to deal with virtually anything you run into. And we have another beast eye target down here. But we'll deal with this later. Probably after I'm done with Rykard. Right now, well, I just did one of these dungeons. And there's another monster that I want to kill before I end today's episode. Unfortunately, he is at the top of a mountain, not the base of it. We have a little ways yet before we can reach him. I think I have enough firepower at my disposal now to slay him. And if I can summon Black Knife Tish, all the better. But we have to reach him first. And before we can get to him, we have a surprise cameo from an old friend. Oh, you're not the only one who can enchant your weapon anymore. Kinda sad that he doesn't actually drop anything. Quite a long way we've come, isn't it? We started off being barely able to defeat one grafted scion. And now, I virtually curb stomped that one. Now... Oy. I had more difficulty with the marionette than I did with the scion. Almost. Ooh. Poor soldier is getting bastardized by archers. And if I'm not careful, I'm gonna die right alongside him. Yep. Sorry, friend. Got here too late to really help you. And in truth, if I had tried to help him, killed the marionettes for him, he simply would have attacked me anyway. And it wouldn't have gone well for him. It really would just have been a question of who killed him, rather than whether I could have kept him alive.
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, right this way. Right this way.
Now, this is a merchant that kind of annoys me.
Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium. Please, buy something. I'm hungry. I've been hungry so long. Please?
Oh, I will be buying quite a bit from you. And the reason I'm annoyed with him is because he's got the Confessor armor set, which is one of the cooler sets in the game. That is a reason to start as the Confessor class just to have it. But, if you wanted to get it, you would have to come all the way here to Mount Gelmir, which is in the Altus Plateau. So a very, very long trip just to get this armor. So, more than likely, if you didn't start as the Confessor, you're not gonna have this for a very long time. And that's the element of it that annoys me. Nothing against the merchant himself. He's just like Kale's people generally are. But that doesn't make it any less annoying that he had something I want, but is simply inaccessible for a large chunk of the game. Similar to having to go all the way to the mountaintops of the giants to get your hands on the Vagabond armor set. And in that case, I would argue it isn't even worth the trip. Madness. A Lanedale knight afflicted with madness. That certainly bodes ill. I didn't quite manage to evade that. I hear you. Oh, and you were just out of reach. Ay ay. Well, we're almost to our quarry. And thankfully I can rest at this grace before we have to contend with him. Alright. Now that we're good and rested, let's see, is there a summoning pool around here? I would love to be able to bring Tish in to help with this. The answer would seem to be no. So, we'll see how this goes without Tish's help if need be. Oh, spoke too soon. Come out, Tish. Nope, I misclicked and put away the lantern instead. Oh, if you wanted to fall right off the edge, that's fine by me. Okay. I hated this enemy when I first encountered him. Oh, I missed the first part of that. Really? And we get an awesome finish. Nope, actually Tish finishes him for us. Oh well. Falling Star Beast Jaw. Can't say that I care over much for that weapon. It has its charm, but I just never liked the design. Like I'm literally using the mandible of a giant centipede to kill things with. Yeah, I just don't like that at all. Well. We've killed the falling star beast. Now, we have yet to reach the manor, so that'll be the last thing we do before I call it quits today. We drop down here, and we have more of these marionette soldiers. I do hate just how quickly these guys can attack. Oh, and we have an invisible, scarab to deal with, too. And a golden seed as well. Yeah, sneak up on me, will you? Fortunately, they don't hit for half my health like some others do. Now, rather than try to catch this little bastard as he's rolling all over the place, oh. Well, okay then. I was not expecting it to be that easy. I was going to use the Flame Sweep on the Sword of Night and Flame to try and catch him. But it turns out there was no need. And we reach Rykard's Manor. From the outside this time. Ooh. That didn't go too well for you, Giant, now did it? Ow. Okay. Now, I could go in the front door. There is a little more going on. We saw an item hidden away. Let's see if I can't find the alternative path. Because the other path also... Alexander is not impressed with the mountain. Not impressed with Volcano Manor. Now... Nope. For some reason... Oh, wait. This way, perhaps? Ah, yes, this is the way. And we have hands, like the ones we saw in Caria Manor. Those abominable things. And a whole swarm of you. I wonder... Were the hands native to Caria Manor? Were they the creation, for instance, of Ronnie and her family? Or were they... invaders? Number 4. And there's the Mount Gelmir map. A fallen soldier. Yeah. We see now Rykard's madness. And I think on this little image, I will end today's episode. As ever, if you have enjoyed this, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a good day.